You work that job like rent is due, because rent is really due. Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Bree, and on this channel we talk about faith, femininity, and fashion. Alright, so in today's video we were going to be going over how important God is to us and asking the question, is God really important to us? So sometimes, if not most times, we tend to put God on the back burner in our lives. We claim that we are Christians and that we believe in Christ, but do our lives really reflect as such? When we put God on the back burner, we may not truly be aligned with what God has for us. So if we really think about it, if something is important to us in this natural world, we tend to do everything in our power to make those goals and aspirations become a reality. For instance, if you want a good career, we put in the work to go to college for at least 4 years. Or if we want a promotion in that job, we would tend to work really hard. If we want a healthy body, we would go to the gym faithfully to reach our intended body goals. If we want love in our life, we will put in the work to be consistent, loving, faithful, honest, and more. For our relationships and marriage to grow, and depending what our life goals are, we will make any effort to get that dream car, to get the dream house, or to live the lifestyle that you want for yourself. So if we can give all this energy for our natural lives, why do we tend to be stagnant in our spiritual lives? And I want to point out that this video is not to condemn anyone, because I too have fallen victim of this. It comes to a point where you begin that the way we operate with God is crazy and very baffling, because we want the blessings and the promises, but we are not praying consistently. And we can go a whole day, days, or even months without even communing with God. And then we wonder why we feel empty. And it's because we are not in real relationship with God. So I ask, is God really important to us? Is he really leading your life? Are you truly putting him first? And are you truly walking on the right path that God has intended for you? And this is why we feel stuck and purposeless, because we are trying to do life on our own. So the amount of time that we take out to do other things in our life, we should be doing the same for God. For instance, if we're in the gym for an hour plus, we should be giving God the same amount of time, if not more, in prayer, in studying his word, and in worship. If we can attend college classes, plus give extra study time for homework, tests, quizzes, to get a degree that can enhance our livelihoods, then we can dedicate some time to God daily as well. So really think about it. If you went days or months without talking to your significant other, do you think that's a strong foundation for a lasting relationship? No, right? So why do we do that with God? We are supposed to be in relationship with God. We claim to love God with all of our hearts. Oh, I love God. I love God. But we don't pray. We don't fast. We're not in our word. We don't give reverence to him. We don't worship him as we should. And we can go, like I said, days, months, years without giving these things to him, expecting for the relationship to still work, expecting for those blessings, expecting for life to be smooth and joyous and grand, and expecting the promises that God had for us. But if we are not in a relationship and we are not walking the path or walking out our daily lives with him, how do we expect to really receive those things? You are not going to go to your significant other with months without talking to that person and then going straight up and asking, hey, are we going on a date tonight? that person will look at you first of all, in the real world, in the natural world, the person would probably have already moved on because they think you would have ghosted them. And that person would also look at you crazy, like, do you realize you have not talked to me for so long? And yes, God is loving and all knowing, but we have to stop taking God for granted. So I ask, are you really walking in your purpose? And before you answer that, how would you really know that you're walking in your purpose if you don't have a real relationship with Christ? God could be trying to steer you to the left, but if you're doing things on your own, you will not know where to go. It's like driving in a foreign place with no GPS. You will 100% guarantee will be lost. You will not know where to go. You will not know how to get to your nearest grocery store, gas station, or whatever, right? And that is how we are trying to do life without God. Yeah, you may have a piece of God, but that is not going to truly sustain you. We eat daily and drink daily to take care of our natural bodies. Now we must begin to do the same with our spiritual body. We must eat of the word daily, which is the Bible, and we must drink of the goodness of the Lord daily. How do you drink of the goodness of the Lord, you may ask? By daily conversation, aka prayer, and communion with God. Even if you take 5 minutes, start off small. Even if you take just 5 minutes praying to God, doing a devotional, download the Bible app and do a daily devotional. Take that time to really reverence in His presence. That is how you will begin to feed your spiritual body. So ask yourself again, is God really important to you? And if your answer is yes, does your spiritual life align with the things I've just mentioned? Now, if your spiritual life doesn't reflect what I've mentioned, make the decision today to turn over a new leaf. Be consistent in your walk with the Lord. Like everything else in life, this journey is not going to be easy. You may get wearied or tired sometimes, but you have to keep going just like you do with everything else. If you're physically tired from your job, do you just stop going? Absolutely not. Why? Because you probably, more than likely, have bills to pay. You work that job like rent is due because rent is really due. And there could be repercussions with not showing up to work. And so we have to train our brains to think the same way with God. If we stop being in true relationship with God, there could be repercussions. And I'm not trying to speak like fear or shame or anything like that. But when I talk about repercussions, that means we could be lost. We may begin to feel isolated and lonely. Repercussions of allowing the enemy to deceive you, losing sight of your purpose, or not even walking in your purpose, and being spiritually weak, which can allow room for the enemy to come in and wreak havoc. So now my question to you is, how important is God to you? You shouldn't care about your natural, tangible life more than your spiritual life, because this natural life isn't forever, but your spiritual life is. A lot of us have an idea or goals of like what our natural lives want to be. We all have these goals that we can just rattle off. But when it comes to our spiritual welfare and our spiritual being, we tend to be really silent. So now I want you to reflect on what you would like your spiritual life to look like. Maybe you've always desired to be a prayer warrior, or having extreme faith in crazy circumstances, or being able to quote a few Bible scriptures, or maybe even become a Bible scholar, or maybe just to be a great worshiper of God. Whatever it is, actively think of a plan on how you need to get there and start executing that plan today. And hopefully one day you can answer the original question with, yes, Bree, God is important to me and my life reflects as so. Alright, lovelies, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that it gives you some food for thought and it will help propel you to become more consistent with God, which will eventually help you walk into your true purpose with God and really fulfill his plan that he has in your life. I can't wait to one day where you're looking back on today and you are like, wow, like my life is completely transformed because I really made a conscious effort to be more consistent and really take care of my spiritual body. So if you truly love this video, remember to like it and give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, lovelies.